I'm Cass. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share with you my August bullet journal theme. I went with a Studio Ghibli theme. I have watched a few Studio Ghibli movies. I didn't grow up watching them, but within this past year, I watched a few with a friend, and I absolutely fell in love with a few of them. And just the style, and specifically the soot sprites from Spirited Away, I have always found simply adorable. And so when I finally saw the movie that they were from, I absolutely fell in love. And I just wanted to do a Studio Ghibli theme. I'm not some hardcore fan. Like I said, I didn't grow up watching the movies, but the style is just stunning and the artwork has just always been so beautiful. And I felt like I couldn't be a proper fan unless I watched all the movies, which I haven't at this point, but I do still want to. But without further ado, go ahead and grab your pens and stationery if you're planning with me, and if you're just here to hear me ramble and watch me set up my bullet journal, then I guess sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Originally, this bullet journal theme was supposed to be just centered around Spirited Away, but then I came across a cover page by Junisun Studio on YouTube, and I really wanted to recreate it, and thus became the theme of Howl's Moving Castle with Spirited Away, but this is the only Howl's Moving Castle page in the entire theme. The rest are just Spirited Away, mostly focusing on the soot sprites, which you will see in a little bit, and they are so dang cute, and I will talk about that later. But let's talk about this. I am a sucker for drawings like this that are completely ink work. If you've seen any of my earlier cover pages, especially January, you know that I love to spend excessive amounts of time on these cover pages, keeping them in black and white. And yeah, this month was no exception. Back to my roots. Back to doing what I do best. So, the main pen I used during this was my Tombow Fudonosuke calligraphy pen. Now, I did use the hard tip just because it gives me a little bit of flex, but not an excessive amount to where my lines become too thick. And then as for the tiny details, when I wasn't feeling too lazy to switch markers, I used just an Artist Loft pen in the size 0.05. Artist Loft is a Michaels brand. You can also use Pigma Microns. I used to use Pigma Microns, but Artist Loft is cheaper, and they are the same quality in my opinion, so I just stick with those, and I have an excessive amount of them, so that's what I did. Now, I don't really know what to talk about during this voiceover while I'm making this cover page, because there's really not that much to talk about. Because every time I think of topics to discuss about things I've done currently or anything like that, it's all K-pop related. And I know a lot of you really don't care about my K-pop endeavors. But, you know, I fell into the world of K-pop, and I now bring it up so much, which is kind of annoying, probably, for you viewers. But for me, I'm entertained. Anyway, I bring up K-pop because I recently went to a TXT concert, and it was so good. Right now, I am waiting to see if they will actually reschedule my postponed Stray Kids concert. I got front row tickets, and then they had to postpone the Dallas and Atlantic City dates, and that is called a tragedy because the same thing happened with The Boys, except for the concert was canceled. Is this relevant at all to my bullet journal? No. But for any of you new viewers out there, hi, I'm Cass. I should just call myself Chaotic Cass. Is that stupid? That's probably a little stupid. But I never know what to talk about in these voiceovers, and so I just ramble. Rambling is my thing. So here's your warning. I mean, we're already, 5 minutes into the video, but, here's your warning now that I ramble a lot, but look at me go, just drawing away. But seriously, I never know what to talk about in these voiceovers, and then I'm too lazy to start my recording over most of the time because I really hate doing voiceovers. So I just keep talking to fill the void. Maybe not the void, maybe the empty space for you're not just listening to the background music. I don't know. This was a really fun drawing to do though. I don't think my sketch needed to be that detailed because then I just used a reference photo mostly for all the shading, but I don't know. I always feel the need to be super extra with my sketches. But if you want to save time and not be stupid like I was, just do a general outline. You don't need to sketch every detail. I really don't know why I did that, but I did. I'm still drawing the cover page. Look at me go. Absolutely killing it. It is really satisfying to see this all sped up though, because it's like, I think it took me an hour and a half, 2 hours to complete, and seeing it all sped up is just, it's so nice. Look at that. Look at me go. I don't know what to talk about. Y'all need to tell me what to talk about in these voiceovers. Seriously, comment down below. Talk to me and give me things to talk about. Because when I have cover pages like this that take forever, I don't want to just chop it all up and cut it all out. But then I don't know what to talk about when I'm just doing one drawing. Anyway, this is me struggling to figure out where the flip to put my header. I moved it all around the page and I ripped it up some more. Oh my gosh, I wanted to talk about my nails. I forgot I wanted to talk about that. I have never gotten my nails done at a salon in my entire life until literally the day I recorded this. It was like a few hours before this. And I got like the dip nails done, which is so fascinating to see how it works. They like paint your nail and then dip it in a powder and then paint your nail immediately again and then dip it in a powder and like layer it. It was so cool and very relaxing. I was a little anxious, I'm not gonna lie, to go in there for the first time because obviously I don't know how it works. And when I don't know how things works, that causes mad anxiety, but it was totally fine. And I got it done this pretty pink. I wanted to do a sage green, but they didn't have a sagey enough color. All of them were either too dark or too lime. So I went this cute little pink and I kind of dig it. They're a little annoying. Like trying to get my contacts out was an absolute pain and they were sore for like a day and a half, but they're super chill now and I really like them. So I don't know if I'm gonna get them done monthly now for my journal setups because I really like how my nails look in this video, which is such a weird thing, but I make so many bullet journal videos and art videos and this is the nicest my nails have ever looked because typically I paint them myself and it looks like a 4-year-old did it, but enough about my nails. Let's get back to talking about the journal. Though you were warned about my tangents, so honestly, I could continue talking about my nails and you'd have to just sit there and listen. Actually, you wouldn't. You could probably click off, but that would make me sad. So let's get back to talking about the journal. These soot sprites were very fun to draw in the beginning, and then they became very tedious. Now, compared to my cover page, the rest of these pages are super colorful. And how I drew these nice little soot sprites was I spaced them out by just drawing circles. And then I drew their eyes quite big because then when you color in them black, the eyes kind of shrink in size, if that makes sense. And then I just scribbled all the way around the circle. And then I have a few colors I'm using. So a nice light pink, green, and blue and yellow as well. 3 out of the 4 colors are Tombows, and then the green I ended up using a zebra mild liner highlighter, which is fun because I found my stash of mild liners and I had a lot more than I initially thought because I've been using them to annotate books. And you know, I had my 4 or 5 colors, but I have like 12 or 15. I don't know when I bought these, but I was just going through one of my drawers and there a handful was. And so that's when I think I found the green. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, but I found some. Very fun. I also drew a bunch of stars as well. Had the little soot sprites holding the stars, reaching for the stars, interacting with the stars. I didn't feel like sketching out all of the stars. Jeez Louise, how many times have I said stars in the past 5 seconds? So I just freehanded them. So they might be a little bit janky, but I think it adds to the charm. Plus with the color palette, it just works. And some of my sprites look a little derpy too, but again, it just works, especially with the bright colors. It offsets the need for, you know, perfect. I no longer am a perfectionist for the most part when it comes to my journal. I used to need, everything with straight lines and everything sketched out and perfect and precise. And now I just do the art and I enjoy the process instead of stressing over making it, look perfect. It took me a while to get there though, because I've been recording bullet journal videos since 2019 and, I'm posting them for the internet and for the world to see and to be perceived. And it's stressful to share your art and I don't know how people are going to receive it, but I just have fun with my journal now. And I was in such a rut a few months back with it, and I still get in ruts with my journal, but I try to just enjoy it, especially when I record, because like I said, I've been recording for so long that sometimes it can feel like an absolute chore to make these videos, but lately I've been having fun until voiceovers. Voiceovers are my least favorite part. Like, I'm filming this literally at 1 a.m. before this video is supposed to go up because I just procrastinate hardcore on it. Which is funny because once I start recording, it's not that bad. Like, I can sit here and I can talk about my journal, but the process of just plugging in my mic and starting to talk is just such a hassle. But anyway, that was my calendar page you saw me complete. I did a mini calendar, and then I made like a fake sticky note for important dates. I had that as goals last month and I wrote nothing in it. I don't set goals. I should set goals. I'm not a goal girly, okay? So I did important dates, and then the page I'm working on right now, it's going to be a Dutch door. You'll see me cut it in just a sec, but I'm going to color in the stars corresponding with my mood, so it's a mood tracker. But then the blank column, I just have as a brain dump / to-do. Now, I was going to actually write brain dump, but I could not fit the word brain dump on that tiny little sliver of paper, so I just wrote to do again, even though I'll just dump whatever the heck I feel like on that. And this is me cutting, and this mood tracker was an absolute time consumer. Oh my gosh, it took me forever to make, but I think it turned out really good. Actually, I know it turned out really cute, okay? You look at it and you cannot tell me that it's not the cutest dang thing you've seen. And then on the reverse side of the Dutch door, I just drew some more sprites, except for this time I did color in the stars. And this is my habit tracker. Now, this is another thing that I changed because for the longest time I would do individual boxes for each of my habits. But lately I've just done this super simple graph and I just, do a little dot in the corresponding habit. Oh, so nice. Sometimes you just need to simplify things for they take less time, especially with bullet journaling since it is a monthly thing. And sometimes we don't have time to set up our journals to look super extra. So simplifying it, making it fun, making it easy, which is why I loved this theme so much. Like, this is probably one of my favorite themes I've set up just because it was so simple. Like, I had a set plan. It was stars with the color palette I chose and these little freaking fuzz balls. Like, it was so fun and the colors are just so happy and fun. I found it kind of funny that we're towards the end of summer, so obviously closer to fall, but in May, which was like peak spring, I did fall colors, and then now I'm doing spring colors at the end of summer. The color palette in my journal makes no sense, but I really like the colors I have. I mostly themed it off of when I did a nice little Google search for soot sprites. These were the colors of the stars that they were holding. I did add in, I think blue. I think it was blue just because I wanted another cool tone to balance things out. So I had 2 cool tones and 2 warm tones, which I like how it turned out. If you don't know, I am color challenged. I suck at creating unique color palettes. And technically I didn't create this one since it was based off of the colors in, the good old Studio Ghibli film. But I'm gonna claim credit for adding blue. So my color palette now. Oh, and another thing. I guess I could have talked about Studio Ghibli movies or Studio Ghibli. What is it? Ghibli? I have no idea. But I hadn't actually grown up watching these movies like I mentioned in the intro. But I watched a few recently and they're just so fun and so relaxing. Granted, I need to be doing something while I'm watching them because they're a little bit boring to me. but they're just fun and cute, and I love the art. Like, I adore the art. Obviously, as an artist, I draw inspiration from it, but the movies themselves are just so boring to just sit down and watch. But having them on in the background is super fun. I think my favorite... I don't know if I have a favorite. Because I've only seen 4, I think. I really liked Spirited Away. It absolutely took me by surprise. Like, the story did not go in the direction I was expecting. I liked a lot of the characters from Spirited Away, but the dang old witch, just her character design was so off-putting to me. Like, it affected my viewing experience because I hated when her character came on screen. She's so ugly and I hate it. But my favorite Studio Ghibli character is easily Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. The sass that Calcifer has is unmatched. I love it. It's just fire. And I love the animation of his eyes moving about and everything. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that is a nice little Studio Ghibli information dump on you about all my Studio Ghibli opinions. Look, I've talked about something other than K-pop. Aren't you proud? What I just did was my finance tracker, which is super functional and in theory helps me keep my finances in order, but typically, I'm gonna be honest, okay, I fall behind on my finance tracker like no tomorrow. It's supposed to help me budget, but then I fall like 10 days behind, and then my budget is just out of whack because I didn't keep up with it. And I'm saying that because literally before I started recording this voiceover, I was catching up on my July finances. But I do use the page, and it is cool to see the numbers go up. It's not so cool to see them go down, which they've been doing a lot lately. K-pop concerts will do that to your bank account. And then I have the page I'm working on right now, jumping around in this voiceover as per usual, is my stats page. So I track movies I watch, TV shows I watch, and music I discover. And then the bottom box is mostly for more music. I have been discovering so much new music this month, and I am very excited. So I'm going to talk about it real quick while I'm working on this. If my Spotify loads in time, because it is taking its given time. Sumo Psycho and Awake at Last I discovered recently, and there's some good rock bands. Oh, I'm doing a flip through. Oh my gosh, the flip through is happening. And this is the final flip through of my August 2022 bullet journal. I really hope you enjoy the video, and I will see you in the outro. Thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the very end. I really hope you loved it and think that I did justice to Studio Ghibli, because I just adore their art, and I'm just always so inspired by their art and how beautiful it is. So I hope I was able to give y'all some inspiration to kind of pass on the torch. If you liked the video, please do give it a like, and also comment down, let me know what your theme for August is. And also, if you watch the video all the way to the very end, you're an absolute MVP, and I love you so much. But that is it. If you want to see more bullet journaling or bookish content from me, please do consider subscribing, and I really, really hope to see you in the next one. Toodles!